Imagine this. You wake up bright and early on a Monday morning to start your week off right with a walk in your residential neighborhood. You put on your workout clothes, grab your water and headphones, and you're out the door. It's a beautiful morning, and you are able to say good morning to your neighbors. You have both headphones in and you're listening to a podcast. As you're walking, you approach an intersection and think, this is my neighborhood, and it's early in the morning. No one's going to be on the road at this hour. You continue walking and boom, your neighbor, who is running late for work, hits you with his car. Not a good way to start off your week, right? Hello, my name is Madison Jones, and today I will be talking to you about the importance of looking both ways before you cross the street. Looking both ways before crossing the street is an important habit everyone of all ages should remember because of safety reasons. In order to ensure everybody's safety when crossing the street, we must look at the problems caused by not looking both ways, the underlying issues regarding attention, and solutions to these problems. It is important to remember when discussing looking both ways that when it comes to the lack of attention, it is not only are drivers not paying enough attention, but also pedestrians. Since 2020 and the pandemic, the rate of people taking walks and getting outside has increased. Not only children, but adults are taking advantage of the new wellness trend of speed walking and listening to podcasts. Although this seems like a great idea, this can have many negative implications. According to the Texas Department of Transportation, in 2021, there were 5,366 crashes involving pedestrians in our state, resulting in 841 deaths and a 15% increase in pedestrian fatalities over the previous year. Another 1,470 people were seriously injured. This is an extremely significant amount of people, especially for something that can in most ways be preventable. In many ways, when it comes to the difference between injury and death, this comes in regards to the driver. Speeding, not paying attention, and paying attention to other things besides the road tend to have a big impact on the survival rate of the pedestrian. This increase of pedestrian accidents can be associated with many issues. One of the biggest issues is laziness, and not your typical laziness of staying at home and not wanting to get off your couch, but in many ways just being oblivious to many things. In the scenario I told you earlier, the individual who was walking believed that it was early in the morning, so nobody would be on the road while she was walking. But in that case, that was not true. It's always important to make sure that you're paying attention no matter the time of day or the intersection, whether it's a lighted intersection that gives you cues to walk across, or if it's just a common intersection, whether it has a crosswalk or you're just crossing the road to go say hi to your neighbor. It is extremely important to make sure that you are always paying attention to the things around you. In many cases, people who are walking as well as people who are driving tend to be in their own world. Especially lately, people have been listening to a lot of podcasts and music while they take walks, which means they put both of their headphones in, which is not a good idea. One way that you can add to the safety of looking both ways when you cross the road is listening both ways. When you look both sides of the road, it's important to not only look, but listen to ensure that you can't hear any other cars coming. Also, a problem is a lack of attention to traffic signs and laws. Some incidents and accidents can be a result of the driver running a stop sign or running a light, but also a pedestrian not reading the intersection cues when it says to walk or to not walk. There are many solutions regarding pedestrian accidents, and they can be linked to both drivers and pedestrians. Drivers paying attention to crosswalks and street signs, but also jaywalkers and around their surroundings. It's a bad misconception that a lot of drivers will only pay attention to the things around them when they're near an intersection and to the people walking around them. But in a lot of cases, whether you're driving in a residential area and you're near a sidewalk, sometimes a kid could be riding his bike and could fall. and it fall into the road and you might not notice, or somebody could just be crossing the street at a non-marked crosswalk just to get to the other side. So it's extremely important for drivers to be paying attention to that. Keeping your eyes on the road is extremely important. Whether you're looking for pedestrians or you're just driving in general, it's really important to keep your eyes on the road. For pedestrians, the number one way to prevent these accidents is to look both ways before crossing the street. This allows you to see if any potential cars are coming towards your intersection. It is important to pay attention when looking and not passively look. Take 2 to 3 seconds on each side, then peer back to ensure nobody is coming. This also helps if you are choosing to wear both headphones. Make sure you take them out to listen when you cross an intersection or only walk with one. Another thing for pedestrians is to always make sure, if you're walking in the dark, early in the morning, or late at night, to keep something reflective on you so that drivers can see you. But the biggest thing that pedestrians can keep in mind to do when walking is to look both ways. As mentioned earlier, because during the pandemic, a lot of people were choosing to get out more instead of being stuck in their house. So it's important to remember that with an increase of people walking and being outside, that means an increase of pedestrian-related accidents. There are so many ways to avoid these types of accidents, but for pedestrians in general, it is extremely important to remember to look both ways before you cross the road. Thank you so much.